I burnt out. I completely and fully and truly hit the wall of burnout, and I hit it hard. There was one specific moment right at the end of our season on Motherland, which would have been like March, end of March 2021, where I had like pushed through just trying to get done this show, and then my whole thing was like, I need a break. I need to stop. I don't have anything left to give. And it came up again that they needed someone to double one of the actors. She's lovely. I had worked with her since the pilot. We'd built a relationship, and her character is centuries old. Like, she is this badass, and they're like, Michelle, we need you to double Lynn for this fight and just like be the expert that you are. And this should have been an exciting moment for me, doubling in this capacity where I'm feeling validated that my entire life's work of training has been recognized. And all I can do is like struggle to even like find the energy. And I remember this moment, we were in this big airplane hangar doing this final scene, and I just didn't have the energy and the fire anymore. Like, it wasn't within my body anymore. It just felt like I was numb. And I had never struggled with being able to perform. I've always been able to find that like, of being on. But even when I was competing as a kid, like being able to project energy out to an audience, I've always just been able to do that. I have that energy and that intensity about me. And in this moment, I realized that it was gone. I didn't have any of it. And what I had to do, I couldn't let Lynn down. I couldn't let my team down. I couldn't let the show that I had been on, and they had been quite generous to me for multiple seasons. I couldn't let them down. And what it felt like was I had to pull from my own life force. I had to pull that energy from the like deepest, darkest depths of my soul. And it felt like I was taking years off my life by doing so. It was so heavy and so painful to try and like pull this energy out of nowhere. And we did this fight. I did it to the best and the biggest and the most intense of my ability in that moment. And that was when I knew that like, I need to stop. I need to pause. I need to walk away, or I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna survive any longer. My body's gonna shut down. Hi, my friend. Ozzy's a wonderful co-regulator, by the way. And it was really difficult because I couldn't articulate it at the time. Like, most of the time when you're not able to, you're going through the trauma, you're not able to speak to it. It was really challenging because I felt like I was reaching a height and a momentum in my career, just hoping that I'm not closing this door completely. And then it was somewhere around the like 2020 Olympics, when the Olympics were in 2021, when Simone Biles stopped at the Olympics. I felt that. I felt that in my soul. And I thought, here is this person who is struggling, obviously, and has the courage to say, hold up, I can't do this right now on the biggest fucking stage in the world, at the biggest competition in the world. And she has the courage to do that, and she's young. Oh, and I was just like, oh shit, it's not just performing in film, it's everything. I'm tired of everything. And that took a really long time for me to process. I really struggled when I was competing with performance anxiety. I would go out onto the floor and have all of these things happening in my body and not have the tools to like pull myself together and focus like I needed to and perform like I knew I could. How I've carried that throughout my entire career, that my entire professional career, and that point is like 15 years, especially stunts, of me just trying to prove to myself that I can perform under pressure. I wasn't performing and doing all of this circus and stunts and acting and dance because I was in love with it. I was doing it because I just needed somebody to finally fucking tell me that I'm good enough. That was it. That was the only reason. And I didn't realize that until I saw Simone Biles be like, hold up, stop right now. I can't do this. I'm not okay. And that was like when I really, really hit the wall of burnout, where I maxed myself out. I maxed my nervous system, my body out, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. I was spent. I know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. The last year has been this very slow, okay, we're going to get the ball rolling again. And that's when I have decided that the thing I can do is just try new things. So I've never tried just talking to a camera before. It's always been me, I got to get a stick, I got to do a tutorial, I got to do a fancy video. So I'm going to try just talking to the camera. And I'm going to trust that what I'm talking about will reach the right people. Where I'm like, I've never done anything else with my life, and I'm fucking scared that maybe it's not going to work. And just the acceptance behind that this year has been a real turning point for accepting where I'm at. And it's uncomfortable, but I do recognize, and I had a friend point this out to me, that the thing that I have been consistently doing throughout my life is moving through my own discomfort, moving through that discomfort from my own determination and my own self-will. And what I'm realizing now is like, that is something that I can speak to. It's uncomfortable being a stunt performer. That's for fucking sure. That's like, if you can't handle discomfort, don't become a stunt performer. Circus is uncomfortable. Circus is more painful than stunts, by the way. Competing at a really high international level, that's uncomfortable. Getting on a stage in front of people, that's uncomfortable. Going to an acting class, which I'm actively in right now, that's uncomfortable. Being vulnerable in front of people, putting yourself on camera and posting it on the internet, that's all uncomfortable. Doing self-development and facing your own demons and your own shadow is deeply uncomfortable. And I will happily do all of that. For whatever reason, I have this ability and this determination to push through this discomfort. And I think that's one of the things that I am meant to talk about. I don't think I would have gone down this path, especially in this path that has led me to this deep bone aching burnout, if I wasn't learning something about that discomfort. And if I'm learning something about that, then that means that I have something to share. I have enough determination to like, I'm gonna figure it out. I know that there is something about all of the things that I have learned and experienced, all of the wisdom that I've gained through finding and creating mastery within my own body in a variety of different skills, and the experiences that I've had performing and competing in a variety of different mediums. I know that there is something in there, there is wisdom in there that I have to share with people. I am so ready to not have everything that people know about me and my entire identity, my entire career wrapped up in this skill, in this mastery that I have for a skill that I'm really ready to let go of. I'm not quitting, I'm not deleting anything, hold your fucking horses, but I'm ready for that not to be my life like it has been for the last 35 years. And what I'm ready for is to like, what is the wisdom that I've gained for that? How do I put that into ideas and words, and how do I share that with people in a way that's going to resonate and help people? I can see myself getting clearer and clearer. And through that clarity, I'm realizing that like, oh, I do have some capacity left in me to perform, which is why now I'm pushing into the acting realm, which I always knew I was going to do. With acting, I always knew that acting would always be there for me when I was older. Stunts had a timeline on it, and I'm feeling quite fulfilled with stunts. If stuff comes up within stunts, and it will, and it's right for me, I'll absolutely consider it. I love fight coordinating. I love training actors. I love choreographing. Like, I want to be involved. But for me, in where I'm curious to go next, the only capacity and medium that I haven't really fully explored is acting. And so now I'm really pushing hard into it, and that's uncomfortable. I feel like I'm moving into a whole career path where I'm not as well established. Like I have some credits, I've done some stuff, I've been taking class for years, but I'm almost starting at a deficit in it, and I'm just trusting and I'm just hoping that it's going to work out for me and that somebody's going to see me and be like, that's exactly who we need right now. And I'm just trusting that all of this experience and time under tension of performing, I'll be able to channel and distill into deep vulnerability, which is what's required as an actor. But I'm having fun. And I can't say that in the last couple of years that I've enjoyed myself. And now I'm starting to feel that I'm coming out of the mud a little bit. And I'm starting to receive the answers and the ideas again. I'm trying to give myself the grace and the time to move when I have the impulse to move and not force myself to do it, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to push through this space of dysregulation within my nervous system to find a place where my body feels safe to relax.